Laos. Is it? Do you say Laos or Laos? I'm so bad at
I
pronunciation.
personally
I say
always say Laos.
Laos.
I say Lao, kind of
Okay.
without an S, but
Is
Yeah, I always pronounce
yeah.
the S, but I've seen many people not pronouncing the S. I think it doesn't matter.
okay. So I mean, just having a look at some of the the pictures here, I can see some monks. I can see sort of a festival going on. That bottom left hand picture is now. I might be getting this completely wrong. That kind of has as like a more of a Western feel to it. What is? Am I? Would I be right in saying that, or is that just a style of architecture that's found
Yeah,
there?
during the French Indochina times, like some villages in Laos. Unfortunately, not all of them are covered. Yeah, they were pretty French, like rich French people doing. Um, I don't know what they were doing, but having farms and making money. Yeah, so some cities in Laos, you can get some very nice French houses,
Oh,
I mean,
even more than Vietnam sometimes.
French not only exported their architecture, but they also exported their baguettes, for example, to Vietnam.
Yeah, yeah.
Banh mi, the
Unfortunately,
famous
yeah,
Vietnamese dish, is based on the French baguette.
yeah.
interesting. And I mean, top right. Oh, we're seeing some 420 blaze it. Is there anything in particular about that image that's special?
Yeah, I forgot the name of that. It's tobacco. Um, yeah, it hits you very hard. Once you visit me here, I'll give you a hit. It's pretty strong. Yeah, yeah. It's as strong as tobacco can be.
Jesus, all right. Well, I can't wait to be sick on the side of some road in Laos. So, um, who wants to go over some of our information on the slide here? Any volunteers?
I'll do
I
this
can
one.
All right, RC,
go over the please.
take it away, my man.
Okay, so yeah, there's only five cities in Laos. There's Vientiane, which doesn't have any car that you can see, and then there's Luang Prabang and Vang Vieng, which are north of Vientiane, and they both have bars, and Savannakhet and Paksay, which are along the Mekong River to the south of Vientiane. So Laos has yellow plates on their normal cars, and then as you can see here, there are some other plates for different types of cars, like police cars and government vehicles. But yeah, so Laos can be told apart from like Thailand and Cambodia because they do have yellow plates. And then, yeah, as you can see in that bottom left picture, Vang Vieng is pretty recognizable because it has those like tall, pretty cliffy mountains. They look pretty nice when you see them from like street view. And then Luang Prabang is a really nice looking city with like French architecture. So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that again. Another really good example of that French architecture there. So the script here, I'm noticing it is a bit more curly, almost the Comic Sans version of the Cambodian script. Is that the kind of way you guys would spot it, or I'm also seeing a lot of circles. What's the trick?
I'd say Lao looks like it's like Thai, but slightly more round.
Okay.
Like Thai has a lot of letters that look like N's, and then this one is like N's but rounder, like almost like U's and like O's. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's really difficult to articulate. Yeah, it's very much a visual exercise. But yeah, I think you've done a good job there, and I definitely kind of understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and Thai also has more squares in the middle of the letters, whereas Laotian doesn't have that. They just have it on the top.
Yeah. Overall, one could say they are very similar scripts. You can get
Yeah.
unlucky, and depending on the font, maybe they are using like a more stylish font for Thai. Then you get like a rounded letters, and sometimes they're using a squared one for Lao language. So yeah, gladly, it's very rare the instance when you need a language to distinguish between both. Mainly because one is driving on the right and one is driving on the left, and the license plates are different.
Yeah.
And we don't have that many rural areas in Laos. Laos, it's only cities being covered. So usually you are around some cars, so you can see the driving side and the license plate. Um, for our luck, we don't need to rely that much on language.
Fascinating. Now, I see in the meta corner, everyone's favorite, I see some bars on a car. Um, what sort of the car coverage? I know there's been some questions in the chat. Is there anything super specific about that?
They look always the same in all the 4 cities except Vientiane, in my opinion. Every city has bars. It's just the landscape and layout of the cities, how you can distinguish those 4 with bars.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great pickup truck. You can see some wires, some blue wires, which are kind of unique to this country. I don't know, compare it to Africa or something, but yeah, Vientiane, it's the only city in the country without any car visible.
Okay. Well, I think what a great place to start then, Vientiane. Um, we've got a location example here. So let's bring that on. So plenty of stuff to talk about here. I mean, first and foremost, I'm seeing license plates. As you said, we've got some examples of that script. It is a little bit more kind of curved and rounded, for sure. So this is an example of no visible car in this area, right?
Are in Vientiane. And what you can also see here, what's typical for Laos is the red and white, how do you say it in English, on the sides?
Curbs,
Yeah.
Sidewalk barrier. Yeah.
Yeah, they call it. That's they got some
Also the
yellow.
Laotian flag hanging around, doing nothing.
So this is, I guess, a pretty typical example um, of a street here. Um, yeah, I can say this is quite unique looking. Um, I think the driving on the right and the license plates are a big giveaway there. I don't, I never guess in Laos. I just don't
Also
ever
the
do it.
whole country has just a red soil feeling, even if it's paved. You everywhere see red.
yeah, it's a little bit dusty. Yeah,
Yeah, you're not wrong actually. When you start when you look at it, it does kind of have that sheen to it. Um, yeah, that's great. Let me load up the next location, um, which is okay. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Luang
Luang Prabang.
Prabang. Luang Prabang. So this is an example of some of that architecture we're talking about. Yeah, talk me through this one, boys.
I'd say this
yeah,
town, it looks a lot more like tropical kind of than the rest. I think Savannakhet and Paxe kind of have a more like dry season feel. And this one's a little more wet. Not that it's like very wet, just like more tropical, I'd say. It's like a little bit hilly, but not really. And it is on the Mekong, so there is like an area where you can see the Mekong. And then of course you have these nice houses, got the nice windows that the French like, and
Yeah,
yeah,
the shutters on.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
French
definitely.
style.
lots of English written in Luang Prabang because it's the main tourist spot in the country. If you go to the back roads, you'll see some supermarket for Westerners and tour guides and lots of stuff for the tourist
Yeah,
business. I think it carries the
and
city and lots of mountains. We don't see that many mountains here, but we are kind of in a valley. There's mountains in most directions as well.
Yeah, I've just
and
noticed
that
there's
sign, you
a bit of
just zoom
French on
in.
it.
That is, such signs are very typical for Luang Prabang, where French-speaking countries, be it Belgium, be it France, just fund something there to get maybe the tourism industry running or something like that. But such such funding signs have seen all over Luang Prabang.
Yeah, interesting. Let's take a look at the map. And yeah, again, obviously this is the Mekong that RC was referencing. Yeah, it is. It does. I do find it interesting when you've got those kind of mixed of architectures and kind of clash of cultures and stuff. It does make you, if you don't have a good understanding of history and you're a bit culturally unaware like I am, it does throw you off a little bit where you're like, wait, why is the a French house here? This feels really weird. So
You guys
really
need
Exactly.
you
interesting.
guys need to
I've also
watch.
in Luang Prabang seen just a house hanging out the French flag, for example.
Yeah, for those who watch the Apocalypse Now, I don't know, but yeah, they're trying to portray those middle of Indochina, French Indochina villages, right? And there's like French people living, and they build their houses like French.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we only have a Luang Prabang covered like this, but there's many smaller places in Laos and Vietnam where the town are little French villages.
Huh.
Um,
Yeah, fascinating. We're going to look at Vang Vienne. Vang Vienne. That's I just dragged over the entire document instead of the location. Right, here's the location.
Very limited coverage, I have to say, in that city.
Okay.
But in every part of the coverage, you can spot the mountains there.
yeah, they're
They're really
very unique,
distinct.
let's say.
Mm.
Interesting.
And because we have like such a limited coverage, it's basically like the little town center. It's very like kind of Western, tailored for Westerners. So you
Yeah.
see like lots of English, lots of tourism guides and stuff, like little marts. People and the restaurants are kind of in English as well, because we only have kind of this little Western part of the town. So as you can see here, even the menu is in English, right? It's
Yeah,
just this
plenty of
very limited, yeah.
English. Yeah. Um, yeah, it has that kind of yeah, you're completely right. It does feel somewhat touristy, and obviously again you keep seeing little things like this. Like the last location there was a tour bus. Here again we've got some sort of tour bus here as well. This building is fascinating. With that it just looks so ominous. I don't know what it is
It
about it. That's quite an interesting.
looks like it's just in the process of building.
Yeah, geez, okay, interesting.
Yeah, now
Um,
you can say Luang Prabang and Vang Vienne are the covered tourist capitals of Laos.
And yeah, and like just as we had like the Cambodia beer here, if you move up a little bit, you can see the beer Lao. So yeah, they have their national beer, which also carries the name of the country. And even though it's not as common as sea Angkor, it's yeah, they are kind of everywhere. Those beer Lao ads. Not that, oh, you can see both right on each side of the street. You can see a different beer Lao, and
oh, this we have this in the UK. This Savannah, like this is like a cider, I think. I've definitely had that in the UK before. That's interesting. Um, Kiddo asks in the chat, is the equation yellow plates equals Laos reliable? If you see yellow plates, is that enough to start making a guess, or could you get
Kind of,
tripped up?
yeah. Like given that if you're thinking about this region, you're probably thinking about Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and yeah, it's the only country where private cars wear yellow plates.
Yeah.
There's yellow plates in Thailand. Maybe Cambodia has some yellow plates, but it, as you can see here, like most of the plates are yellow.
Yes, definitely a
All the
high.
private cars have yellow plates in Laos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, kiddo. I hope that helped. Um, I think we've got moving on to Savannah Ket. Savannah Ket.
Savannah Cat. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, again, just show where Vang Vieng is on the map.
Yeah, it's very tiny, not that easy to find on the map.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, pretty.
And the coverage is very limited.
What if you're guessing in Vang Vieng? What sort of are you looking at? Like a 4.8, 4.9?
Nah, 4995 plus.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
There you go. Then.
If you are
if it's a
there.
word map, yeah.
Probably, yeah. Not even world map. I think even if it's a Southeast Asia map, if you're sure you're in Vang Vieng, you get
Yeah.
4995, 4990.
Yeah, definitely. That's
As you can see, yeah, it's just kind of like the southern part of the city, like that is covered, kind of like the touristy area. So very limited, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Right, I've got another location here, um, which is Savannah Cat, as we were just saying. Is this? I guess we're by the Mekong here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
but now the river is already very huge, right? Like took
Yeah,
a lot of water to survive here.
Yeah, not messing about there. So
And
what?
as you see, that one road is very straight north-south. That's typical for Savannah Cat. You get that almost like a grid-like shape, like American cities. Just north, south, east, west roads near the Mekong River. That's Savannah Cat.
Yeah.
Definitely very long road.
It's just the coverage where in the city it's covered. City is just built like that.
Yeah, I would say probably the two hardest to differentiate is Savannah Cat that we are seeing right now and Paxe, the next one. But if you're near the river, you can look towards Thailand on the other coast, and it's a very flat way part of Thailand. There's not that many mountains close by. Whereas in the next city, we are going to look like it's like the mountains are very close to you.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll take a look.
In my opinion, the main difference between Savannah Cat and Paxe is the wideness of the road.
Oh.
We'll come to that in Paxe, but in Savannah Cat you just see normal roads, paved roads, 90-degree angles, as you can see here, north-south, east-west, and in Paxe the roads are anywhere and just in general way wider. Just the normal main roads have 3 lanes in one direction, for example.
Interesting.
So-
Yeah, there's Savannah Cat, and that is, pretty close to the border, which is obviously the river there. So we're just talking about that being a little bit more difficult to differentiate from. You said it was Paxe? Pax?
Next is Paxe. I say Paxe. I don't know if it's called that way.
Okay. Right. Well, here we go. Yeah. I mean, we've got an example of that. The kind of the red and white curb straight away. Definitely spotting the yellow plates again. So it's got a lot of the same
And
feels.
for whatever reason, as you can always, we can see way wider roads. In this case, 4 lanes in one direction. Why? That has only Paxe.
I don't know.
Also, the vegetation is just a bit dry season, shrubby, almost dirty. Don't know how to explain it.
It's
It's just a general
again
Paxe feel.
this the red soil thing coming into fruition. It's just yeah, it's kind of got that dusty red soil feel to it, which is quite interesting.
And
Um,
if you look on the other side next to the road, just shrubs and brown grass. It's hard to explain.
yeah, it's an interesting location for sure. Again, we've got another example of the script here. I think this font it makes it a little bit more difficult. As you were explaining earlier, the fonts do kind of do change and
Yeah.
whatnot, so it can be difficult.
But typical Laotian, you don't see circles inside the letters, small circles. You just see them if they are there on top or on the bottom, but no real circles inside the letters.
Yeah, they're just kind of curling out on the ends there. Okay, interesting location. That was, I mean, I knew nothing about the place. If
Also,
I'm
what
being
I've
honest.
seen in Paxe, they also advertised many things in English for whatever reason. I've seen signs towards a really small sign, Paxe Golf Club or something like that.
It's interesting. You've got French, English, and obviously the native language all going on in the same area. Um,
Yeah, and Paxi is full of Huawei, the Chinese telephone maker
mm,
ads, like small ads on the corner sometimes. I don't know why, but they like when it was Google covered the city is full of those little Huawei ads. They
yeah,
talk about not driving and texting and driving or something, which is kind of a little meta here.
yeah. It's interesting. There's probably some like it's a good way to. It's like, oh, can we advertise our phone everywhere? We'll do it for as a safety campaign. It's like, I think it works
Yeah,
quite well.
in a small city in Laos. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we've covered everything for Lao there. Interesting location. Definitely somewhere I knew little to nothing about.